everybody, it's Michelle, and today I've got for you a workout on the reformer using the box. So I've got mine set up to start with long ways up against the shoulder rests, okay? And I've also got one blue spring on to start with. You're welcome to do more or less. I've got kind of a nice light spring on, so it's more of a stretch and mobility and not too heavy. Okay, so to get started, we're going to come and walk over to the bottom of your machine near the platform. Drop your foot bar down a few notches from the top, just so that you're not going to kind of bump into it. It won't impede your range of motion, okay? So I've got mine down about 2 notches. And then stand nice and tall, hip width apart. Open through your chest, find a nice lifted position, and then take a nice little sequencing through the spine. So nod your chin, round your body forward. Once your hands can find the box, just rest them on the corners, and you're gonna press it away from you. Get to a nice long spine. You can soften the knees to make that more comfortable. And then you're just gonna tuck your tail under, almost like a cat stretch, until the carriage returns back home, and then roll your body back up to standing. Yeah, and then we'll do that again. So nodding the chin, kind of unlock the backs of the knees. And again, your reformer might be a different height than mine, okay? So you might need to bend your knees a little differently. Yeah, everybody's height of their body is different as well. Yeah, we'll do this a couple more times. So if your reformer is elevated off of the ground, you may be able to do this without the box, just placing your hands on the corners of the carriage. You could also do it with a box as well. It'll just change the angle slightly, okay? So with or without the box, if your machine is up off the ground, okay? All right, now let's get down into that long stretch of your spine and stay. Now we're gonna come up through the arms into a back extension as I pull the carriage under me and then press back to flat. Good, now this time round your back when you pull the carriage in. So I'm flexing my spine, pressing out to straight, and then extending my spine and going back to straight, yeah? So just kind of roll through these two positions. Hopefully you're keeping your weight back over your feet, yeah? So if you were doing this, like with your heels up against a wall, your tailbone would stay against the wall as well. Yeah, let's do this 2 more times. You want all the weight in your feet, just a little bit of weight in the hands. Okay, now let's push out to straight. Have your ears right about at or above your shoulder height. Now let's just bend our knees into a nice deep squat. Now what's nice about having the foot bar not all the way down is that it kind of prevents you from sending your knees too far forward, yeah? So it really forces you to sit your weight back over your heels a little bit. Okay, a few more times. Drop as low into that bend of your knees as you're comfortable with. Okay, and the carriage might move in or out. We're just kind of keeping the stable shoulders as we bend and stretch the knees. All right, now pause with your legs long, and I want you to bend your right knee only, soften your left elbow, rotate, and look up towards the ceiling. So I'm kind of sticking my left hip over and out, getting a stretch on the side of my body, and then come back to that center line and go to the other side. So same arm as leg, the elbow and knee will soften to help you twist, and then look back at the floor. Yeah, and just kind of roll through that a few times. So you're kind of swinging your tail from side to side. Good. Let's do that one more time on either side. You can spend a little more time in these places if you need to. All right, now push the carriage away, tuck your tailbone under, bring it back home, and then roll back up tall. Very nice. All right, let's get down there again. That was kind of our breather, our break coming up. So nod your chin, roll back down, push out to that long spine, knees a little soft. Now bend your knees enough to get your back pretty level with the floor, okay? So my arms and my spine are pretty level, head a little bit higher. Now just bend and stretch your elbows to bring the box kind of under your chin and then push away. Okay, now it's okay if this doesn't feel super heavy, okay? This is more just kind of for mobility and as a warm-up to get us moving. Yeah, draw your ribs gently away from your thighs. Okay, now if you'd like, we're going to try this with a single arm. So remove one hand. If your foot bar is in a good spot, place it on there, or you can place it on your knee even, and then continue bending and stretching just that one arm. So a little bit heavier now that it's one arm pushing that spring. If it's too heavy, go back to two hands or reduce your spring tension. Okay, make sure your chest is slightly above your hips. You don't want to be pitched forward, yeah? So either totally level or shoulders a little higher. Okay, now when I push away, rotate a little bit away from the arm and then come back. So again, getting into more of that stretch, kind of like what we found a second ago, softening one knee. Do that 2 more times so we get a little extra press, letting the shoulder blade glide more up the spine. All right, now push out with 2 hands to get back long, and let's do the other side. So put your other hand on the foot bar or on your leg, square off your hips, and then bend and stretch to bring the box into your line of sight, and then push it away. So for now, I'm keeping my hips and shoulders nice and square. Again, flat, long back. Now when you're ready, if it feels good to you, you're gonna drop that shoulder of the pushing arm, rotate and try to look up at the ceiling behind you for 3. Feel a nice stretch under that shoulder, 2. Last one. Good. Now push out with both hands and then round your spine to come all the way in. Whew. Okay, come up tall. Good. All right. One last stretch, kind of going on with that twisting and pushing that we were finding. So set your hands on the box, just with your back long and with the carriage in. So kind of on the edge of the box. Now just reach one arm. So for me, this is going to be my left arm. So I'm reaching my left arm up to the ceiling and rotating. Now I want you to take that left arm, thread it underneath, push the carriage away, and grab onto the right corner of the foot bar. Pull with your hand and look under that armpit, and then come back and twist to the ceiling. So it's a big version of threading the needle, yeah? So I round my spine, I push the carriage away, I grab the opposite corner of the foot bar, and then I unthread and reach up, yeah? Let's do that one more time. So again, my left hand is reaching over to the right, come up and reach tall, and then we'll do the other side. Okay, so take the other arm. For me, that's my right arm. Rotate to the sky, push the carriage out, drop your head, and find the opposite corner of the foot bar, and then come up. And your legs can just do whatever feels natural here. They can both equally bend. One can be a little more bent than the other. It's okay if your hips aren't perfectly square. Just find a nice opening through the ribs and the hips. Yeah, let's do that one more time. Good. Finish in that big open twist and then place your hand back on the box. All right, so now our spine should be feeling nice and awake. We're going to do a little bit of standing work to test our balance and work our legs a little bit, okay? So you can start in this same spot. Place one foot up on the edge of the box, yeah? And again, if your reformer is higher than mine, having the box and your foot on it might be too much, so you're welcome to do this without the box, okay? You just wrap your toes either around the edge of the box or the edge of the carriage in line with that hip, okay? So now hip bones stay pretty darn square, and you're gonna use this thigh of the foot that's on the box to push it away from you and then to come back. Yeah, so think of being high half toe with your foot as you push out. So your heel's gonna stay away from the box, okay? And if this feels like super easy, good, that's okay. I don't want this to be so heavy. I want it to stay light. So we have to actually use this hip flexor to bring the carriage back in, okay? And if it's too heavy, you end up not being able to move, okay? So you should be able to pretty easily push out and in. All right, so now take your hands to the back of your head, fingertips pressing. Make sure your hip is right over your heel and there's no kind of jutting forward. All right, so now as we push out, we're gonna add a rotation. So hips stay square, my upper body is gonna twist to one side and then come back front. We're gonna go to both directions, so it doesn't matter which way you go first. Yeah, now again, if you had an imaginary wall behind you, I'd want you to keep your whole body stacked. Now, obviously your elbows would go through the wall, but everything else should stay in that alignment. So it's tempting to go with the push of the carriage with our lower body, but I want you to kind of restrain and stay back, okay? So now hold your twist and stay to one side. Ooh, that's hard to keep the spring tension. Now drop your heel and the carriage should come in a little bit. Stretch your calf. Push the box back out with your toes. Bend your knee and face front. Then go to the other side. Rotate. That's a lot of work for this supporting leg to stay there. Lower and lift your heel and then come back. Yeah? Let's do that a few more times. So holding this twist is challenging. Not getting buckled over by the spring tension is challenging. Yeah, let's do one more time to either side. Now your hips try to stay squared to the box, even though our upper body is not. Okay, now just face back front, bend your knee, and then come all the way down. Whew, that's deceiving. It's really that supporting leg that is working so hard. All right, now let's do that with the other foot. So same deal, step on up, curl your toes, almost like when we wrap our foot around the foot bar. Same kind of idea. All right, arms can be wherever you'd like to start with as we just start waking up the leg action. Yeah, the closer you stand to the platform, the heavier the springs are gonna feel. So you can scoot forward or back a little bit to adjust it, okay? Really feel those quad muscles drawing up to get to that knee extension. Yeah, make sure the supporting hip isn't overly stretched. Okay, now we're gonna add our twists. You can go to either direction first. Doesn't matter because we're gonna do both. Yeah, again, if you add the twist and it's just too crazy, then today just stay going straight front with your body, okay? Let's do that a few more times. Now on your next one, you're gonna hold the twist, lower your heel and draw the box closer to you, push it away, and then face front. So now we see why that heel was high, because now we want to have somewhere to go as we drop and press and come back up. A few more times. Twist, press and up, and then return. Last one. Push, lower and lift, face the front, and then step your foot down. Woo! All right, so just because it's a light spring, that doesn't make it very easy. All right, now face to one side. I'm going to put my right foot up on the box. Your opposite foot is going to be on the floor, pretty close to the foot bar, okay? So one foot goes up. You want to have it a little forward of your hips. Yeah, if the leg's behind you, you're not going to be in a very good hip position. So 45-degree angle with the hip, it might mean scooting your bottom foot further back. All right, now here we go. Arms wherever you'd like. Have the heel high. Keep your weight stacked over that foot. And now you're going to push the box away from you, facing one side. Yeah, so if it's too hard, scoot your bottom foot further away from the reformer. Good. All right, so even though it's light, there's a lot of things going on. It's really tricky to keep that ankle lifted. You might see mine shaking a little bit. Yeah, let's do this a couple more times. Now for this one, the challenge that we're going to add on is going to be our bottom leg. So push the carriage out and hold. Don't get bowled over by the spring tension. Can you try to lift your bottom heel up and down and then bend your knee? That was tricky. Push out, even if it's fast. Do a little lift and lower and then return. Okay, a few more times. 1, lift 2, lower 3, come in 4. Good, let's do that 2 more times. And again, if that heel lift isn't for you today, no big deal. Just stick with the leg presses. Okay, now place the heel down, and I just want you to take a little side bend towards the box to stretch out that one side. Bend your knee as you stack up, and let's side bend the other way. So it's a stretch, but we have resistance with it, so it's also some work, yeah? Let's do one more time to each side. Push and stretch, and then restack. One more time. Yeah, it's kind of fun to get our leg work in a different way than just lying on our backs. Yeah, it kind of brings up new things for us to think about, okay? So let's turn and face the opposite direction. So put your new foot up on the box, scoot back a little bit so the foot can be forward of your hips, okay? Heel is high, arms are wherever you'd like. Start pushing and pulling. Yeah, so check in with the supporting side of your body. Make sure the hip is right over knees. Your bottom foot can be slightly externally rotated too. Good. Now try not to swing your body side to side to help you. You just stay super stacked and strong. Okay, now push that leg out and stay. Keep the heel lifted, and now the bottom heel is going to try to go up and down, and then you come in. Yeah, do that again. Push, lift and lower, and then return. That is really hard to not get pushed over. So listen to your body. So good. You could also try to keep your knee bent while you do those lift and lowers. That would be a little bit easier. Yeah, so if you're struggling, do the lift and lower on the bent knee. All right, now drop the heel and let's side bend towards the box, leaving that leg long. Come up and bend the knee to reset. Now go the other way. Push, side bend away with your upper body, lower body stays stacked. All right, 2 more times. Push, and then up. Last one. And then up tall. Whew. All right, that was some tricky stuff. All right, so now let's move to the machine and we're gonna do some arm work. So switch your springs. I'm gonna put mine to a red spring, so a little bit heavier. You're of course welcome to do more or less if you would like. We're gonna be seated on the edge of the box with our feet on the headrest. So make sure your headrest is flat. And then we're gonna take the straps off of wherever they're hanging. Okay, and then we're gonna hold on to the ropes, if mine will cooperate. There we go, and come off. Okay, so hold the ropes however you'd like. I like to kind of go through my loops, almost like I'm putting on bracelets, and then hold the ropes. It just kind of keeps the clattering down on the machine. All right, so sit up tall. Have a good amount of room behind you on the box. Have a little bit of initial tension on the ropes. Okay, shoulders right over your hip bones. Now, as you breathe out, I just want you to let the ropes pull you into a little forward fold. If they go slack, that's okay. And then as you inhale, find the tension on the ropes, draw the shoulder blades in to find neutral. And do that again. So it's just a little bit of an assisted stretch over the legs, knees connected, and then draw against that tension to come up. Yeah, so we really find that effort in the front of the body, rounding you forward, and then it's the back of the body that connects to sit you back up. Okay, let's do that one more time. So shoulder blades pull away from your spine, and then you get back up to neutral. Okay, now we're gonna go the other direction. So on the exhale, we flex the spine, but we also extend the hips. So I push the knees in front of me, I roll my low back to the box, and then I inhale and restack where I started. Do that again, knees draw together, roll away, and then inhale, come up tall. Okay, a couple more times. So just noticing the difference. Yeah, gravity's hitting us a little differently now. Leaning backwards as opposed to leaning forward. So now the abs support that rounded spine. All right, do that one more time. You can kind of feel like you're kicking your feet forward into the headrest and then come up tall. All right, now we're gonna put those two things together. So now flex over your legs. We're gonna keep our rounded back throughout and roll right back from here to that half roll back position and then directly back over the thighs. Yeah, if you find that you need a little bit more resistance or bigger range of motion, hold up higher on the ropes. Yeah, a few more times, tucking under. If your low back can touch the box comfortably, great, or just get it as close as you can. Yeah, you don't want to get stuck down there though. One more time. And then come all the way up. Whew. All right, now we're gonna make this stretch, or we're gonna turn this more into a stretch, I should say. Scoot your hips forward a little bit more. You wanna be able to lay back fully on your box, okay? It's okay if your head hangs off, as long as you're comfortable with that, with your neck. If you don't like that, continue the half rollbacks that we were just doing, okay? So start rounded forward. You're gonna scoop through those abdominals, shoot your knees forward, Feel your spine roll onto the box, and then if you feel good about it, you're gonna let your head hang back, open your shoulders, and just take a nice stretch. Now reverse that. Make sure you nod your chin first, then you raise your arms up, round over the thighs, and return. Good, do that again. Now we have help from the ropes. This is a tricky thing, but you've got support, so don't worry. It's like you've got somebody grabbing your hands and helping you up, yeah? It's just like that. You just have to put your weight in the right spot so those springs can work for you. So really lift your hands as you come up and over, and that's gonna help you a lot. Okay, let's do this a few more times. If you would prefer to not go into that extension, no big deal. You just stay in that halfway range of motion, okay? Whew. If you're able to find it comfortably though, it really is a nice kind of release. It's almost like a handstand, right? We get some blood to our brain, to go inverted. Most importantly, we get out of that forward rounding of our upper back where we spend so much time. All right, let's do that one more time. Roll through, open your chest, shoulders back, and then come all the way up and over those legs. Whew. All right. That was a good one for the spine. All right, so now you can scoot back slightly if you need to. Sit up tall. We're going to keep holding the ropes unless this gets to be too heavy. You can hold the straps. So make your fists wide in your collarbones. As you exhale, we're just going to pull our fists straight back and then inhale and let them go. Yeah. Exhale. Try to slow down the return of your arms. Yeah. So the rope should have tension the whole entire time. Yeah. You never want to feel like a yanking or a super fast pulling sensation. Yeah, keeping that even tension is going to give us a nice balanced contraction and work in both directions. Okay, now on your next one, pull your arms back and stay. Now look over one shoulder, look over your other shoulder, look back to the front, and then release the arms. Let's do that again. If that was too heavy, hold a little lower. I think I'm going to hold a little lower. So we pull straight back, maintain the arms, look to one side, to the other side, to the front, and then release. Okay, do that a few more times. So we're holding that tension with the back of the shoulder as we try to release tension in the neck to look side to side. Oh, good. Do that one more time. Wide through the front of the chest. Try to get as big of a turn of that head as you can, and then return. Whew. All right, so now going into some little pulses, okay? So same, I keep sliding lower down on the loops. That's okay if you do too. All right, so now we pull as far back as we can, full range of motion. Release halfway till your fists are next to your hip bones, and then you're gonna pump for 3 little pulses. 2, sit taller on each one, 1, and then return all the way back front. Do that again. Full range pull, release halfway, and then pump 3, 2, 1, and then release. Okay, let's do that 2 more times. Big pull, little release, and then pump 3, 2. Don't get bogged down by it. Grow up out of your sternum. 1 more time. Inhale as you release, and then exhale on those 3 pulses. 2, 1, and then relax. Okay, go ahead and take a stretch over your legs. Gonna stretch out those muscles of the upper back and the shoulders. All right, now take your hands through the straps until they're resting on your elbows. We're gonna do one last little thing for our upper back. Okay, so feel those shoulder blades nice and flat against your ribs. You're gonna raise your elbows up, palms face your face, and then as your elbows go to the side, palms are gonna stay facing you, yeah? So it's like your palms face your eyes, and then they face your ears. And you're just gonna open your arms, kind of like shutters on a window. Out, and then in. Yeah. So try to leave your weight nice and centered on your pelvis. Yeah, you don't want to feel like you're jutting or rocking back and forward with your body. Yeah, spine stays tall as those elbows swipe side to side. Let's do 3 more. Good. Try not to mash your shoulder blades in on each other. Just let them glide smoothly. Now pause out to the side, and I just want you to drop your elbows down an inch or 2 and then return. Maybe even 3 inches. See how close you can get to your ribs without the carriage moving. So just pinch those underarms and then back up. Do that 2 more times. So I'm maintaining the tension on the springs. Come up and then close your elbows together. Oh, very nice. All right. Okay, last thing here, we're going to do some bicep curls and then a little bit of triceps, and then we're going to change positions. Okay, so you're going to reach your arms out in front of you, hold the straps in your hands, sit nice and tall. Now, as I do a bicep curl, I'm also going to roll halfway back. So we know this position, right? We already kind of visited it a moment ago. And then as my elbows extend, I'm just going to reverse that action of the spine. Yeah, do that again. So nice and slow. Exhale, scoop. Inhale to return. Yeah, you find a position for your elbows that gives you a good enough tension. So the higher the elbows is a little bit more challenging. Okay, now on your next one, roll back here and stay. Can you pick one leg up to tabletop and extend your arms? Keep your roll back. Put the foot down and bend your arms. Now do the other leg. I reach my hands as I lift my leg, and then I pull as I replace. Do that a few more times. So my spine and pelvis is staying totally solid. Good, let's do a few more. If you want to pick up the pace a little bit, you can. Just don't yank the ropes. Good, one more time on each leg. Out and in, last one. Now pause here for a second, take an extra breath in, and then just round over your legs to come forward, and then sit all the way up tall. Whew. All right, a little bit of triceps, and then we're gonna switch gears. Okay, so stay totally tall through your spine, pull your elbows behind your body, and then you're just gonna swing your fists back and forth into some little tricep kickbacks. Yeah, so rather than pitching forward, just keep your vertical spine. Yeah, you can angle your fist however feels comfortable. I'm leading back with my pinkies. You can flip your palms to face back, whatever feels more natural. Okay, let's do 3 more. Chin lifted, 2. Last one. Whew. So good. All right, place your straps down so that they're off of the shoulder rests. Okay, you can hang them up on the hooks if you'd like. And then we're gonna move our box from a long box to a short box position. So for me, with my height, I'm gonna go over the top of my shoulder rests. Make sure you push the box up against them. Okay, if you're much shorter than say 5'3", you may be able to do it with the box in front of the shoulder rests, but just adjust according to your own height. Okay, so put on a couple of springs. I'm gonna do 2 reds. It doesn't really matter what color. I like the reds because they're on the sides and they're kind of heavy. Yeah, so just enough for your carriage to not move around much. And then we're gonna place our feet under the strap, the black foot strap that's running near your platform. Okay, all right, so do a little bit of seated abdominals with the help of the foot strap. Okay, so once your feet are underneath, you want to kind of scoot back a little bit so you get the greatest amount of tension on that band on the strap that you can. Okay, so now sitting tall, feet a comfortable distance apart, you're going to reach your arms out in front of you, thumbs up, arms at shoulder height. Okay, so now as you exhale, you're going to roll halfway back away from those legs and then sit back up tall. Yeah, so we've done a few kind of iterations of this movement already. Yeah. But again, in every kind of new orientation, it feels a little different. Different things have to kick in. So we have the help of the feet staying anchored. Yes, so we can go a little bit further back than you might be able to without that help. So be confident that your feet will hold you. Now roll back and stay. I just want you to raise one arm up towards the ceiling and then drop it down. Do the other arm, reach, and then drop, and then sit right back up on your tail. Good, do that again. Try to roll back slightly further this time, and then as those arms go up, it shouldn't cause your spine to twist or to rotate, and then up tall. Okay, a few more times, just like that. So we're just adding layers, yeah, to change up the challenge. Now this time, roll back and stay, and I want you to scissor the arms. So one drops a little as the other lifts, and then they switch. So my pinky is almost touching the box, other arm raises. Now check in that this isn't making your body wobble side to side. Stay nice and centered. Maybe go faster, 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 faster. 3, 2, 1. Reach the arms forward. Sit all the way back up. Ah, very nice, you guys. All right, so now next, start in the same way with the arms reaching forward. We're going to tuck under, same as we did to roll back. This time, both my arms are going to go up together. Different this time is the arms are going to stay by the ears. Whole body is going to round over the legs. Stay here and drop into a little deeper stretch. And then roll up tall and extend the arms up. Good. Let's do that again. I think I started with the arms forward this time, but let's start with them up. I like that a little bit better. So tuck under, roll back and stay. Look up, find those fingertips towards the ceiling, round over the legs, release into a little deeper stretch, and then come up and reach to the ceiling. Okay, a few more times. So as the arms reach higher, our abs have to start to carry their weight. So that's the challenge. Drop a little deeper and then come up tall. So good. Let's do that one more time. Lift, dive forward, and then try to let go of any tension to help you drop even deeper. And then come on up. So nice. All right, so last thing here, we're going to add a little bit of rotation, okay? And now, as we challenge our abdominals, we're not going to be in a rounded back. So again, a little bit different. Now we're keeping the abs long and loading them up, which is super fun. So we're going to take our hands. You can either go in front of your forehead or on the back of your head, whichever. I think I'm going to go in front. That kind of feels nice. So now, back of the hands, either to the forehead or behind, you're going to rotate to one side. So I twist right on top of my sitting bones. Now, lean on the diagonal. So if you're leaning to the right, your left hip should come off of the box. Sit down, both hips heavy, stay in your twist, and then face forward. That was a lot. Now let's do that again. Go to the other side. So if you're twisting to the left, once you twist there, you're going to lean off towards the back corner of your box. Your back hip will leave the box. Sit back up, get both hips heavy, and then face front. And it's normal if you need to kind of readjust in between, that's okay. Let's try that a few more times. So I breathe in and twist to one side. I exhale, lean on the diagonal. Inhale to sit back up, and then exhale, face forward. Good. One more time, just like that. Twist, think up and over to lean, restack, and then face front. All right, we're going to try this a few more times. If you want to add on, we're going to hold and add a reach of the arms. So making that lever even longer to carry. So we twist, we exhale and lean. Now stay here and just reach the arms to match the body. Come back to your head, sit up, hip down, and then face forward. Yeah, so I twist, I lean, I stay and reach, hands to the head, sit up and twist even deeper, and then face forward. Whew. Okay, let's do one more time to each side now that we're getting it. Twist, exhale, inhale, reach, return, sit up. Whew, that's a long time to be there. Last time, rotate, lean, reach, return, sit up, and face front. Oh, so good. All right. Okay, Now we're going to get a little bit of back extension going. So come off of your box, turn it long ways again, like how we had it earlier, up against the shoulder rests. Okay, and then bring your foot bars. I like to have mine one notch down from the very, very top. Okay, so it's just, a little bit lower to give our head and our chest a little bit of breathing room. Now let's go just to a single red spring. So one heavy. All right, and then you're going to come on to your box. Carefully, your head's going to go towards the foot bar. Kind of use your hands, get one leg up, and just ease yourself on down. Okay? All right, so you want your chest off the front of the box, kneecaps just barely off the back edge, and then hands on the bar about shoulder width apart. Okay? So now your legs can be about hip width apart, externally rotated. Okay, now I want you to draw your abs away from the box. Your back is just in a long line, horizontal. Now just push away from the foot bar and then bring your body right back. That's all. Just straighten your elbows and bend your elbows. Okay? If you want a little bit more spring tension, you're welcome to add it. But in a minute, we're going to do more of some back extension. So one red should be about plenty. Okay? So a few more times. Feel a gentle lifting of your abdominals away from the box. Okay, feel your glutes nice and active. Now push out to your long arms. Now draw your belly button towards your spine. I want you to raise your gaze, pull the box under you, and come up into a back extension, and then press back and touch your ribs to the box. Okay, now you come up as high as you'd like. You can keep your ribs down and do a small back extension of just your thoracic spine, or if you feel good with full extension, your abdominals can leave the box and then they can return to the box. Okay, that's going to be different for everybody. Let's do that a few more times. Think of your abs almost leaving the box first and then press back down. Good. Okay, now we're going to go into a little bit of a pattern. So now bend your elbows, start with your chest over the bar. Now, 3 movements. 1, you're going to push to your straight arms. 2, you're going to lift into your biggest back extension and then bend your elbows. Oh, and look at that. You're magically back where we started. Yeah? 1, lift 2, bend your elbows. 3. Okay, a few more times. 1, up, and then bend. Let's do one more time, and then we'll switch direction. So start with your bent elbows. You're going to push from here up to your back extension. Ooh, that's not easy. Push till your ribs are down and then bend your elbows. Yeah? So I come up to straight arms. I push and get my ribs to the box and then pull. Good. 2 more times. Press up, push back, and then return. 1 more time. Up, push, and then return. Okay. Whew, so nice. All right, take one leg off towards the floor. Whew, and help yourself on up. All right, take your box off. We're going to not use the box for the first time, and we're just going to end with a little single thigh stretch. Okay, so come on down. You can leave your one red spring on. I'm going to bring my foot bar up that one last notch. You can do the same if you'd like. Okay, so come to one side. Your one foot will be on the floor. Your closest foot will be up against the shoulder rest. Now, if your machine is elevated, you'll have a little different angle than me, but the stretch should be about the same, okay? So hands are on the foot bar, eyes out in front of you. Now just breathe out, press the carriage away, and try to open up that hip, and then return to where you started. Yeah, so the more vertical you stay, the better of a stretch you're going to get in that back hip flexor and thigh, which is the whole idea. Yeah, we'll fold forward in a minute, but let's get that good opening behind you. Now you're going to push off your bottom leg, look towards the floor, try to get your front leg as straight as you'd like. Your toes can come off the floor. Now roll the foot down, look in front of you, and come back up. Yeah, so you're passing through that thigh stretch in both directions. Fold forward, we get a little front hamstring stretch. Foot down, eyes up, and then lift. Good, one more time. Push, find your fold, come in and up. All right, walk around or crawl over to your other side. All right, here we go. Bottom foot is nice and forward, kind of next to the foot bar. Start with just your back thigh. Yeah. Good. Think of keeping your abdominals a little bit short. Yeah, that'll help to keep it out of your spine and keep it more in that hip. All right, now let's add the front leg. I find the hip stretch. I push away and try to lift my toes off the floor, maybe. Roll the foot down and then come up tall. Yeah, 1, push out, 2, return, 3, and then lift 4. Okay, 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Last time. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that workout utilizing the Pilates box. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below if you have any ideas for future videos or any feedback. And please share this video with a friend, someone who you think would like it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.